When did you play Time Warp the first time?
I remember the DJ booth very well. It was really high up, and just before me it was supposed to be Robert Armani, which was actually playing, and he actually left. I was just saying that to you, but it's true. You know, he said to Stefan, "Hey, can somebody stop the smoke?" And Stefan said, "I don't think so. I don't think so." And it's true, there was a lot of smoke in the room, and he actually left the turntables. He was just really pissed off. He didn't like the smoke, so he closed his box and left. So I had to start like 45 minutes or an hour before my set. And I said to Stefan, don't worry, I'll carry on, I'll do my set dresses.
All I remember is trying to get from the entrance to the actual stage to actually perform. And I was with a girlfriend of mine, and we were really like holding really tight onto each other because there were so many people, and it was so chaotic and going really right through the middle of the crowd. And so I remember from in the middle of the people. That's what I remember. Not from being the stage, not my set, just being like, holy cow, there's a lot of people here. But I remember being totally packed, totally crazy. And some of the time warps were in different locations, and I always remember the different locations. They were always really interesting.
It was the beginning for Relief Records, and I mean we started to hear a lot in Europe about Cashmere, and all these people. So he had Casual Records and he had Relief, and it was just the beginning of Relief Records. And I remember so well playing some of the brand new stuff from Relief. Like it was like an a cappella, and then after it was another song, quite tough. And I started my set with that. I remember that clearly. I don't know why, and I don't know what I played after that, but I remember those two records. And I felt, I've got the room, this is it, I can go for it. And maybe that was when I was in the middle of the crowd. The first time I actually played for Time Warp, it was through a wonderful woman, which I think you either interviewed or you will interview.
Oh yes.
Which were looking after both of us and a lot of other people.
Oh, yes.
She was looking after Carl Cox,
Right,
she was looking after Josh Wink and Nick. She's called Nick. And I first met Nick in Cologne because she was working at a warehouse, and through Nick I met Stefan. Because of Nick I did Time Warp, and I knew she was a very, very good friend of Stefan, and I think we all became very good friends very quickly. And it was kind of playing at few Time Warps was hanging with the same family. Sometimes you have feelings with people where you feel you will go back anytime because you feel at home. So Time Warp was one of them. I mean, there was some other big raves where you were just going because it was quite nice to play there. Time Warp was a different one. Time Warp was a smaller scale rave on the big ones, but it was more like a family orientated organization. I mean, the fact is I still work for Stefan now.
There was a lot of huge raves. Time Warp was in between all that. It was really a quality rave. It was a hell of a lot of people. The music policy was unbelievable, and it really became a family. It was not always the same people, but some of the same people. Each one, and there's crossovers, and the booking agents were friends, and the friends were the agents, and the friends were the producers. It slowly just was happening. It was a really important time in Germany, and I think we all found a place that we could play the music we wanted to a hell of a lot of people, and the organizers, really understood what we were, doing. That's why they invited us. So there was a lot of integrity.
Usually, if you were doing a lot of the big raves in Germany, if you had an hour and a half, you would have feel very lucky. Time Warp, you had 3 hours.
Yeah.
There was, a lot of different rooms, very versatile DJs, but you had time to play music. And Time Warp was about music, which is quite a nice thing in his business.
Yeah.
DJ Hell on the Love Parade, there was 1 million people there, and he actually started with Jean-Michel Jarre for about 10 minutes, and he only had half an hour to play, and he left that thing for 10 minutes, and I mean, I was just next to him watching him going, you are completely fucking mad. But I thought, this is the greatest thing I've seen. There's 1 million people, there's no beats, you can't dance to this. Helmut going, yeah, this is it. And I thought, fuck man, he's got the guts to do that. That's brilliant. I admire that.
So talking about these things, are there any really moral moments or any scandals what happened,
There's always scandal.
There's always scandals.
Some of those.
Don't worry about that. I wrote a book in France about 15 years of all this music and stuff, and it's coming out in Germany next year. So you'll read a few scandals in there.
Okay, that's good.
But it's not a book about scandals, alright?
Oh no.
But there's few of them in there. There's just few. It's not scandals.
Eventually, yeah.
I think we all lived a lot of pretty funny experiences, hard ones. You know, I think when you've been DJing for what, 16 years, 17 years, we all had weird experience, you know, on the funny side and then on the not funny side.
Yeah.
Totally. On a time warp story, even the last time warp, I was playing maybe 8 or 9, 10 hours, I don't know. I was playing at the very end and it all became a blur. And suddenly the blur cleared up and I found myself attached to Ricardo Villalobos when I was playing by some string and some ribbon and things like that, and we were really attached together, and I really don't remember exactly when or how it happened, because we were tag teaming, playing 1 or 2 records. So I think someone decided that they wanted to make sure that we would play for a long time. And they
No way!
separated.
That's great.
And then suddenly I'm really like trying to get my records, and I'm like, oh, what's that? It's Ricardo. So luckily we found a balance of being able to play the records and get to our record boxes without pulling the other one too much. And it worked out.
Yeah.
But I still would like to know exactly, you know, how it happened.
Maybe it was Stefan, you know?
Yeah,
He could have handcuffed you. He could have handcuffed
he was
you.
planting it, so I had a good story to tell right now. So it was all thought of.
Maybe that's what you should have done to Robert Armani. Handcuffed him to the DJ booth.
No,
you
Yeah.
can't leave.
handcuffed into the smoke machine.
Yeah, in front of the smoke machine. Yeah, that would. Stefan, do that next time. That's a good thing. When you play to a party which has such a open-minded music policy, you have a much better relation, because these people are usually much more open-minded because they come and listen to a lot of diversity in music, and these people actually come for the music, not just for the sake of getting off their heads and getting smashed by hard techno. I think they were coming to listen to people and having good times. So you do have a much stronger and better relationship with the crowd. You know, I mean, as talking for myself, I never usually go back to places I don't enjoy, and I've been playing to Time Warp a lot of time. So this is my answer. You know, if I go back for so many years, is because you do develop a nice relationship with the crowd. I mean, what our job is all about is to have a relationship with the crowd. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So very positive, very, very positive.
It's one of the only big parties where I really do spend a lot of time there, hanging out, talking with friends, and just going to see what else is happening. I remember, you know, one time, or I don't know which one it was, but Baby Ford was playing, and he was doing a classic acid house set. And this was like 8 years after these records he had made that were really, really influential on me. And so I was just, you know, standing or sitting, you know, in the audience, just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this. And then going to see someone else, and then going to play, you know, the last couple of years, always going to see Ricardo in the house room play, and usually ending up playing some records with him, and, you know, then he'll come and play with me, and it's just, yeah, it's a family. The people are there for the right reason, and there's a good feeling there too, and you feel that you're open to experiment a little and really play how you're feeling that night.
Time Warp 2020.
Well, they have to have those, you know, those special things on the stairs going up to the stage that help the wheelchairs, because we'll all be old enough.
I'm gonna say something might sound a bit weird or hard, but I like things that stops at the right time. And maybe 2010, 2020 is a long day. It's far away, and maybe we would all love to remember as such a wonderful place, wonderful thing. That's maybe one day might have to stop it and say to the kids, this is it, this is the last one, let's have all the DJs I like, let's have the greatest party on earth, and stop it. This might be the one in 2020. Shit, I'll be nearly 55 then. Yeah, I mean, if there will be one, if it will be the last one, I'll go for sure. But
there's a high possibility that if there is one, then you'll find us somewhere hanging out.
Drop in the corner, I'm jumping again.
Yeah. It wasn't like this in our days, man. It wasn't like this in the first one. Where's Robert Armani, man?
I surely hope the music will be different, hopefully, because that would mean it would have followed what it started. So let's make it adventurous, upfront, and maybe not a techno one.
Yeah, if you're looking at the future now, Time Warp has been about playing music of the future. So if it really is around then, let's hope it's as futuristic as it has been for us.
Bloody hope so. I hope the kids are going to live a revolution like we did.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, I hope so. We were really lucky to live through some amazing times. You know, when I was starting in, you know, recording and producing and just DJing in Detroit, like 1987, 88, we were really like pinching ourselves and saying, you know, something's happening here. This is like those books about the Sex Pistols you read in 1977, but it's not a book. This is like history is happening right now, and maybe we have a chance to be part of it. We didn't know how long it was going to last. We really didn't think it was going to last, definitely not this long.
No.
But you could feel this energy and this excitement, and it was just like, hey, I don't know what we can do, but let's do something.
When he was making his records, I was in Paris buying his stuff. And you know, it's like the first time we met each other was in New York. And we were trying to make some music in Paris as well, and everybody did his own thing from home, thinking we are buying bricks to build this big house, but we don't know how the hell is the house going to look like. I feel very lucky to have been able to live through this music for so long, and still the parties are amazing. I played last night in Paris, and the party was amazing. Truly, I had kids, hands in the air, and they're young. So they didn't know me at the beginning, and you know, they were just having it, and they were having a good time. So I really hope the kids soon will leave something as strong as that. I really wish for them. Really, I really wish so, because it was pretty amazing. It was pretty intense, I must say.
You're just like grabbing onto something and it's just pulling you along. You're trying to like have some type of control, but really in reality you don't have much control. You're just trying to like, you know, make it to the end.
Very true.
Great.
So true. So true.
About the future, what do you think? What kind of DJ tools are upcoming in the future? Like vinyl, holographic desktop, PC, whatever.
Oh, you're the man for that kind of question.
I know you put me on the
Well,
spot. Let me
Richie, give us your
Don't
advice
hard,
about
please.
this. I like to know Richie as well, so you know, bring on the light to me.
Yeah, well, in relation to like the events and the clubs and the experience, I think there's just going to be more technology and more power to enable artists like us and DJs to give people even deeper experiences. I think, you know, that's whatever that means, whether that means more creative control over the music and being able to manipulate it longer or more intense, whether it's controlling also the lights or
Visuals.
you know, the visuals. You know, we have to remember that right now we've got to this point by controlling music, and that's just one of our senses. What happens when we can start to control, you know, touch, taste, smell, you know, hearing, sight, all these things together. You know, at a party right now, it's really about visuals and sound. So where can that go, and where can it go even further than that when you start to add the other senses in? Maybe, like you said, holographic, you know, desktops, holographic, holodecks on Star Trek or whatever. Sounds like completely far-fetched, but the idea of that concept is presenting something that seems like reality by using all the senses. And I think our music has been a bit of an escape for people. Mm-hmm. So maybe we don't want to create a reality, but if we could create this to make the escape more realistic, it could be really interesting.
That's your Time Warp 2020.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that was deep.
That's your Time Warp 2020. I told you.
Okay, now I'm out now.
Stefan, carry on.
How would you describe your musical style?
Versatile, including a little bit more techno and house and everything else, but extremely open-minded. Because I play in a lot of different surroundings. You know, I've been playing on the radio since I'm 14 years old.
Oh yeah.
I produce music. I've got a label as well, which is called F Communication, and the FCOM is about any styles of music. We have artists covering from rock to jazz to African music to house and techno. The new album which I've made coming out has blues, it has jazz, it has electronica, it has world music, it has a lot of different things. When I play music, I try to make people dance with whatever I qualify as funky or whatever, so it varies from house, techno, deep house, drum and bass, break beats. And if I want to play hip hop, I will. If I want to play salsa, I will. So I'm much more of a house and techno orientated DJ, meaning I play a little bit more than that. So
I've always been a techno cat, but definitely I came up when house and techno and all this type of dance music was really one thing. There wasn't really the labels as much as there is now. So there's a lot of recordings of my Time Warp sets over the years. So if you went back and listened to them, you would hear some really quite hard music, and you would also hear, some quite, softer musical things. This year I was lucky enough to play the end of the party for the 10-year anniversary, and how many hours it was, it went from complete, very weird, minimal musical ambient type sounds to really like, what do you say, like fucking hard, no,
Which is not that hard.
Hard, yeah. When I say
much
hard,
harder than
someone
us.
else would say, "What are you was playing so soft for?"
Yeah.
But
funk.
Whatever the musical style is that we're playing, Laurent and I both tell some type of story, and there's peaks and valleys. There's intense moments and softer moments, and this is what makes it interesting for us and hopefully interesting for the people in the end.
It's like a movie. Crime scene, sex scene, whatever scene. And,
This is the French description,
a
right?
thought scene, and a start and an ending.
It's good though.
It's true. It's like a movie. It's like a book. Just ups and downs.
Hopefully it's like a book that you can't put down until you get to the end.
My heartbeat. That's rhythm. Makes me standing up in the morning and carry on. That's what it's all about.
Another thing that keeps ticking and pushing.
Okay, thank you.